Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Govberg, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the FP Journe Centigraphe Linesport in aluminum. You can see this unique aluminum 42mm FP Journe Centigraphe on our website, govbergwatches.com. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our app, Govberg On Time, for the latest news, views, reviews, and multimedia of luxury watches. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that this Centigraphe is different in several ways. First and foremost, it is made of aluminum. It weighs only 55 grams, less than 2 ounces on the wrist. The sensation of wearing a nearly weightless watch is incredible. And as the Centigraphe Linesport has a unique case shape, so does it have a unique case size. Well, the standard Centigraphe is 40 millimeters. This one is 42, and you can see that it has a little bit of a Gerald Genta-esque integration of bracelet, lugs, and case. So broader than a standard Centigraphe, it's also shaped quite differently and integrated beautifully with its bracelet. Yes, the bracelet, the clasp, the case, the bezel, and indeed the movement and most of the dial are rendered in aluminum. Now, in terms of thickness, there isn't much. The watch is only 11.5 millimeters thick, but with a generously domed bezel, it's easy for this one to slide under a tight sleeve or dress cuff. And unlike many contemporary sports references, this one does have the aesthetic versatility, the compact dimensions, and the adroit styling to dress well, and formal attire is most apropos with this watch, as is casual attire, but that's the versatility of the Linesport. It's everything an FP Journe is, but it's more. It's more casual, it's more sporting, perhaps even more fun-loving. And that continues in the bracelet itself. A sporting 3-link design in the tradition of great Rolex and Omega sports references, it features a combination of aluminum and rubber insert elements. This creates a nice two-tone of black and light metal. You can also see that there are abundant channels between the links, such that this one aerates quite well. Heat, moisture, grit, sweat easily released during an active day out wearing this watch, perhaps at the Indy 500, of which Mr. Journe is known to be a fan. And there are nice channels underneath and between the lugs, such that you can see it won't pinch skin, it won't pull hair, it wears quite comfortably, and even the aluminum clasp, double deployant, is a little bit of an ergonomic one-up over the single fold deployant. You don't have that one huge up and over that can sometimes pinch or pin skin and hair. Now, when closed, it's quite secure. You'll also notice it features an FP Journe combination aluminum and rubberized clasp with FP Journe and the company motto in stark relief. Now, the case itself is a highlight. Aluminum with titanium pusher and titanium crown. You can see the rubber inserts for contrast, but it really frames a dial that represents the main event and the pièce de résistance of this watch. Now, many of the elements of the dial, like the case, the bracelet, the clasp, are rendered in aluminum, but it has a sporting tritone like the classic Rolex Paul Newman exotic dials of the 60s. You have a little bit of white, you have gray, and then you have red accents that really pop against that grayscale background. You also have a fully loomed set of Arabic numerals. So all of those numerals plus the hands at center do glow. This being a sports watch, it has to be visible in low or no light, and the Centigraphe S delivers. Now, another element that really takes this watch and departs from the core breed, the basic Centigraphe, is the insertion of a sapphire disc on each of the sub-registers, such that you can actually see the movement working away underneath. Of course, the watch known as the Centigraphe can measure increments of time as small as 1/100th of a second, and the fascinating machinery that makes it possible, you'll see I can stop it, continues to toil away underneath the dial, visible full-time, whether you're running the chronograph or not. Now, of course, this watch has one of the most entertaining resets in the business, but the mechanism, the logic, the mechanical mastery behind this visage is just as innovative. Now, this is the FP Journe caliber 1506. Very much what you've come to expect from the Centigraphe. It features a mainspring barrel giving 80 hours of power reserve with the chronograph off, 24 with the chronograph running. Basically, everything is the same except for the use of aluminum to create the movement itself, which reduces the mass of the movement to 12 grams. By comparison, a typical Valjoux 7750 chronograph movement weighs about 40 grams. Now you can see it retains the free-sprung balance for a resistance to shock-induced timing variation, and it continues to chug along at a traditional 21,600 vibrations per hour, but the aluminum architecture makes this a look unlike any other offered by Journe. He's done ruthenium-coated movements, he's done gold movements, he's done brass movements with a rhodium coat, but the Linesport has exclusive use of the aluminum calibers within the Journe family. Now you'll also note an unusual placement of the barrel. It's right at the center of the movement, and this is because it occupies pride of place as the power source for two parallel drivetrains. FP Journe has integrated the drivetrain for the chronograph as well as the civil time at center on two separate sets of gear train, which is to say each one drives directly off that mainspring barrel at center, such that when the chronograph is engaged, it does not reduce the amplitude of the balance. What it does is it reduces the power reserve, but inasmuch as this watch only measures up to 10-minute increments, that shouldn't be a concern. It's a clever way to allow the complication to function without altering the fundamental timekeeping capabilities of the basic watch. You can see this FP Journe Centigraphe Linesport in aluminum and purchase it on our website, govbergwatches.com.